I will still never get over the fact that the class 805 and 807 do not tilt. I think that was absolutely bloody stupid. Oh wait, this isn't Reddit. Shit! On June 9th, 2026, this week actually, West Coast Mainline Trent Valley released for those creaming over long routes. All for the price of £32.99. Being at this price, the bar is set higher for this DLC, and it's one made by All Aboard Studios. This is my first DLC from them, as I skipped out Birmingham to Crewe due to its bad performance, and the 805 for a lack of gameplay. So, with that in mind, let's have a look at the route itself. The route runs for 108 miles, making it the longest UK route in the game so far, beating out Preston's Carlisle, which previously held that title. And I have to say, this route looks pretty good. A long route isn't an easy feat in this bugged ass game, and for All Aboard Studios to attempt it, along with Just Trains, with their Preston to Carlisle route, is something I commend. Now, is the scenery anything great? It's alright. It's nothing that special when you look into it. Some of the distance scenery, particularly the flat grass textures, don't look the best, but most of the line side scenery is serviceable. There really isn't much to say about it despite it being a long route, but that's okay for me. Stations look alright too for the most part. Milton Keynes already looks better than its West Coast South counterpart. And the others look alright, maybe a bit basic detail-wise, but nothing I'd say that's bad. Crewe looks great especially. Rugby looks alright, however I noticed the carriage sidings are missing their overhead wires, since this is where some electric locos are stabled. And as well as that, some stations can appear barren of passengers. Otherwise, again, stations are alright. Train-wise, we get familiar sights. We get one variant of the 350 in unbranded London North Western, the Dash 4, and the 807 for Avanti. The 350 isn't new to the game, and the 807 is just another member of the AT300 family, of which we have the 800, 802 and 805 already, albeit the 807 stands out for being electric only and having 7 coaches. That being said, the 350 is pretty well done as a model. However, I have 2 issues with it. The destination displays cut off on the sides. I don't think that's meant to happen. And it's missing a compact toilet in Coach C. Most of the 350s have 2 toilets, but the Dash 4s have 3 toilets. And I think it's a shame that this small detail wasn't added in a route that's basically premium pricing. Sounds are pretty good though. Not the best, but serviceable, and they're much better at speed. The 807 is modified from the existing AT300 models we have, but the changes made to accurately depict the 807 are actually pretty well done, especially the cab. Apparently the speed set works too, but I haven't been able to get it working on the controller, so I think that's just a skill issue on my end. Sounds like these are definitely a bigger... Wait, they cut out. Huh? As I was saying, sounds on these are definitely a big improvement over the existing AT300s. The motors and running sounds are really good. So, overall, the trains are okay. A few personal problems with the 350-4 model, and I also don't like that we only get 1 variant for the route, when the other 3 we now have in the game. I really don't think being forced to buy 2 routes just for the missing variants is a good way to do layering. But that's just my personal opinion, and I'm just a stupid Blue Jay at the end of the day. Timetable-wise, this is probably where it is really divisive between the player base. We have 2 timetables for the routes, a full timetable and a reduced timetable. As it probably suggests, the full timetable is where you get lots of the traffic and services, and the reduced timetable is where you only get the essentials and a lack of traffic on the sidelines. This is because of our good old console friends and low-end devices, which can't handle the full timetable. For complete transparency, I play on an Xbox Series S. I don't have high-ending computing power, and I play on a reduced timetable out of necessity. I cannot play the full timetable as it messes with my performance and texturing, to the point it's basically unplayable. So, for the sake of my game, I have most of my footage and screenshots from the reduced timetable, which does run better as a result, although it comes at the expense of most of my layers and only seeing 350-4s, 390s, 805s and 807s on the route. I think the necessity of two different timetables for performance sake just goes to show how unoptimized the core game is as a whole. I have also had several out-of-memory problems on the reduced timetable too. It happened at crew once. It's also prevented me from driving one Alpha 1.6 in journey mode 3 times. And it's crashed my game at rugby once too. And as I said, this was on the reduced timetable. I think that's pretty bad to happen on the timetable that's meant to be for performance sake. So, yeah, I can see why the two timetables exist, but both of them have performance problems. And as I'm on a Series S, I can only speak from my experience. And so far, it's been very inconsistent. Again, I don't think it's that acceptable to have crashes on the reduced timetable. Otherwise, gameplay-wise, they're all mostly long runs, ranging from an hour to an hour and 35. So if you want to do a service, you're going to have to put away some of your time because it is basically A to B long distance, as you'd expect on a route like this. So overall, I have mixed thoughts on the route. It's not a bad route at all. I think it's decently made, and I commend all aboard for being ambitious and almost pulling off a 108-mile route. But there are definitely things that need a lot of improvement. I think the biggest thing is performance right now. Because if I'm getting out of memory errors on the reduced timetable, then there are definitely performance problems that need to be addressed because it shouldn't be happening on the reduced timetable. The 350-4 modeling accuracy is a nitpick and minor compared to the optimization. For £32.99 though, I can only really recommend this if you want long mainline running. As I said earlier, most of these runs can take up to an hour and 35. You do get some short 3 and 20 minute runs as well. And if you can't deal with the inconsistent performance, especially on console and low-end devices, I think you're better off skipping the route entirely until updates are done to improve the optimization. But otherwise, that's my piece said. I'm Lou J, and I wasted your time enough. See ya, and goodbye.